Good afternoon. Welcome to episode 8 of A Dog's Life. My name is John. I am your host. This is your glimpse into my spiritual journey on this earth in the hopes that it can help release something in you that you can walk your journey better. And it also helps me being able to speak about my journey and look at it. I look at it through different eyes as I'm relaying it to you, and I thank you for being there for me and for supporting me. The thing that's really been on my soul for today's episode is self-worth. In a world that tries to push advertising and media marketing down our throats, it's hard to find the worthiness in ourselves sometimes. I know that I touched briefly in episode 1 on a breakup when Court and I had parted ways, and I talked about how I ended up losing everything financially, that I ran myself into the ground, and I talked about it being because Spirit had told me it was time to move on, and I ignored that. And all of that is true, but it's not the full picture. I think Court and I both went into this looking for something. She had never had stability in her life, had never felt secure in things, that she had always struggled to go forward. And we knew each other before we ever entered in to this phase of our lives, for a while. So we were both familiar with each other. I, on the other hand, had a terribly messy breakup, and I guess it was messy because I chose to let it be, because I didn't know how to do things on my own without feeling that I needed to share it with the world. And the breakup was with a man, and I felt like to right that situation with society. There's the word I'm looking for. With society, then I needed to get myself into a heterosexual relationship. I said in episode 1, I'm attracted to energy. I'm attracted to energy. I am, whichever body parts you have are not what attracts me to someone. It is just really your energy. So going back to self-worth, society dictates so much that I felt that I needed to find my worthiness in a heterosexual relationship. And for her, it was a stability. Neither of us were looking for love or had that type of love for each other, and that should have said something right off the bat. When we're going down a road like that where we're not in alignment with our spirit or where we're meant to be, if we are open and receptive to the signs, it definitely lets us know. Or you can be like me and just stick your head in the sand, and every time you can hear the voices, oh, let's just push our head a little farther in the sand. What? No, head in the sand. And I don't I started to say I don't think. I am absolutely certain that had I not lost everything and felt shame for my situation and just been down to nothing, I would never have found my true purpose. In that lifestyle, I was so caught up in ego and other people's perception of me that I had lost track of myself. And I look back on that, I'm not ashamed. I just look at it with the realization that that is not where I was meant to be or what I was meant to do or the difference that I was supposed to make in this universe. We are all worthy. Our worthiness comes from within ourselves. And before we can seriously even start on our journey, we have to have that grain of self-love. As I just discussed in episode 7, there was somebody close to me that I was so caught up in being worthy in their eyes, I forgot that it was my eyes that I needed to be worthy in. And I send positive energy out to each and every one of you to find your worthiness within yourselves, because that's where it's at. Don't let your family or your friends or society dictate your worth. You are enough. You are 100% enough. Don't give yourself away for a meaningless relationship that brings you nothing because you don't want to be alone. You are enough in yourself, and when you realize that, you will start to change and you will start to attract relationships that resonate with that. I was talking to a friend the other day that I had went to high school with, and we were talking about our spiritual journeys and how far we've come in life and things like that. And this person has been married a few times, and they just said, and it's a female, that whether consciously or subconsciously, she was taught from a young age that when she became of age, she needed to find a man to take care of her, which subconsciously led her to feel like she was not enough on her own. And now that she has been through that cycle and finally started to realize that she is enough on her own, she is just a different energy. She is lighter, she was more good-humored, she's more grounded in herself. I'm not sure as a society, as we have always pushed worthiness down. I can't speak for other parts, other time periods in society. I was not there. But I do believe there is a shift in our collective energy, and we are all part of the same energy. Does that mean you pull every single person into your vortex? No, but we can choose the energies and the people that we have around us we can consciously choose ones that lift us up or put us down, or ones that are needy. It's okay to say no. It's okay to not be tolerant of somebody's actions anymore. This is your time. This is your time in this body. I've spent the last 6 or 7 months working on taking off the weight I've put on over the last 5 years. And not for anyone else's approval, although at times I've looked for it. I that ego comes out sometimes, and I look for someone else's approval. But I'm doing it because I want to enjoy my time in this body. I want to enjoy my 50s, my 60s, my 70s, my 80s. I don't want to be tethered to a wheelchair. I don't want someone else to have to care for me. I want to be vibrant. I want to enjoy my time here. Here, maybe 2 months ago, and this really kind of resonated with me at the moment. I had another gentleman with me. It was in the middle of our work day. We had stopped at a gas station to get something to drink in a part of town that had a lot of homelessness and things like that. There were two gentlemen standing outside trying to use a plug-in to charge their phone. The store employee was giving them a hard time about it. It was a situation where I needed to get by them to get to where I was going. I stopped, I acknowledged them, I asked about them. And as I'm walking away, one of them said, and I had heard it, and then when I got back in the truck, the other gentleman asked if I'd heard it as well. The one gentleman that was trying to charge his phone was stupefied that I talked to him and acknowledged him. Have we really went that far down a rabbit hole as society that we cannot talk to someone just because they're in a different situation than us? Are we that crass? Brene Brown does a really beautiful, if you ever want to look her up, just look up Brene Brown church speech. Even though I'm not Catholic, I don't follow any religions, I do believe in spirituality. Even though all of that being said, this talk she gave at the church, if I said I'd listened to it 12 times, that's probably not true. It's probably double that. And in her talk, while she was up there at the pulpit, she's speaking of, she's speaking about how we have got ourselves into factions, segments, how we've all segmented ourselves off. And this talk was probably about 6 years ago. And when she's talking, she's like, I don't believe that is the way we're supposed to be. We've sectioned ourselves off so much because we dislike the same people or for whatever reason. And she's like, that is not the way we're meant to live. She said, I love going to church, she said, because I get to sit every Sunday next to people that any other day of the week I would not agree with their politics, their church standing, would not agree with any of those things. She said, but I want to sit with those people that I don't believe the way they believe. And she said, I want to pass the peace with them. We are all part of the same collective energy. And she said, I want that chance. I want to be there to pass the peace with them. We're not meant to be segmented off. We're meant to be a collective and here together for each other. And I've teared up a few times listening to her give it. She is much more eloquent than I am. But I think our next step in our evolution as a consciousness is to not section ourselves off. We are all part of the same. That gentleman laying on the street, that gentleman in the alley, that is his sleeping place, has the same energy running through him that I do. I should want to do that. She talks about that too. She's like, if you get offended when someone talks negatively about Barack and Michelle Obama's children, then you need to get just as angry when somebody says that about the Trump children. We should never pick and choose who we're angry for. If something is not right or somebody's being crude to someone else, it shouldn't matter the person. We should have the same amount of animosity towards the statement regardless of who it's intended for. So if you feel someone acting negatively towards a mother pushing a stroller, then you should feel the same negativity if someone's acting out of line to a homeless person. I 100% believe in the beauty of this world. I wake up every day grateful for it. There are times I will give thanks for my laundry as I fold it. I have driven down the road and talked to the cornfields and let them know I'm thankful for them. Everything in our world is energy. I'm going to show my gratitude for that energy wherever I can. And right now I'm going to show it for you all. Thank you for being here. Much, much, much love to each and every one of you that are going out there every day to make your difference, to make our collective better. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being with me. Questions, comments, anything, please feel free to leave them. And just be blessed. Be grateful for all the blessings you have.